child labor, it is not a moment to feel proud, but to feel and to reflect upon the present scenario where we are still far behind in terms of child welfare. Child labor is a cruel reality that robs children of their childhood, their dreams, and basic rights. Instead of going to school and playing with friends, millions of children across the world are forced to work in farms, factories, shops, or even houses. According to the International Labour Organization, there are over 160 million child laborers globally. In India too, despite laws and awareness, many children are still working in dhabas, construction sites, or as domestic helpers. The main reasons are poverty, lack of education, unemployment of parents, and social injustices. Many families are so destitute that they rely on every member, even children, to earn a living. But in doing so, we are destroying the future of our entire generations. Let us not forget that children are not meant to earn, they are meant to learn. They belong in school, not in factories. Every child has the right to dream, to grow, and to live. Even our constitutional provisions guarantees and safeguard our citizens. Article 21 of the Constitution mandates that the state shall provide free and compulsory education between the age of 6 to 14 years. And this article was inserted by the Constitution through the 86th Amendment Act of 2002. Article 24 prohibits children working in factories. No child below the age of 14 years shall be employed to work in any factories or mine or engage in any hazardous employment. Article 39. The state shall in particularly direct its policy towards securing that the health and strength of workers and the tender age of children are not abused, and that citizens are not forced by economic necessities to enter a vocation unsuited to their age or strength. Now that we are all aware of what child labor is, let me take this time to give an insight on the Child and Adolescent Prohibition and Regulation Act of 1986. And with that enactment of the Nagaland Child and Adolescent Labor Prohibition and Regulation and Rules of 2024, it has marked a major policy step towards eliminating child labor in the state. More so, coinciding with the World Day Against Child Labor 2025 theme, progress is clear, but there is more to do. Let's speed up our efforts. These are the themes for this year. And to begin with, the Child and Adolescent Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act of 1986, it clearly prohibits the engagement of children below the age of 14 years in all occupations and processes, except in family enterprises and for child artists under special condition. Adolescence is defined as individuals between 14 to 18 years of age. While adolescents are allowed to work, they are prohibited from being employed in hazardous occupation and process listed by the government. Since we are all laymen, I would like to highlight some of the definitions which is stated by the law, so that we will all be aware of. First is the adolescence, means a person who has completed 14 years of age but has not completed 18 years of age. Second is the child, which means a person who has not completed his 14 years of age or as such may be specified in the Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act of 2009, or whichever is more. Third is the establishment, which will include shops, commercial establishments, workshops, farms, residential hotel, restaurants, eating house, theater, or any other places of public amusement or entertainments. And the fifth is family, in relation to an occupier, which means the individual, the wife or the husband, as the case may be of such individual and their children, brothers or sisters of that such individual. Point number 3 is prohibition of employment of children in certain occupation and processes. No child shall be employed or permitted to work in any occupation or processes. However, there will not apply where the child helps his family or family enterprises, which is other than any hazardous occupation or processes set forth in the schedule after his school hour or during vacation. Work as an artist is an audiovisual entertainment industry including advertisements, films, television serials, or any other such entertainment or sports activity except circus, subject to such condition and safety measures as may be prescribed or provided that no such work under this clause shall affect the school education of the child. And the maximum working hours should be 6 hours with a gap of 1 hour in between every 3 hours. And no work between 7 p.m. to 8 a.m. Night work is prohibited, no overdue time, weekly holidays. These are the certain working hours for a child. And since we are all familiar with what is a family or what is family enterprises or what is artists, I will not zoom in too much, but let us all remember when we talk of a family, we are talking about a child relation with his or her mother, father, brother, sister, and father's sisters, and brothers, and mother's sisters and brothers. And when I spoke of family enterprises, which means any work, profession that includes manufacturing or business, which is performed by the members of the family with the engagement of other person, and artist, which means a child who performs or practices any work as such hobby or profession directly involving him or her as an actor, singer, sports person, or in such other activities as may be prescribed relating to the entertainment and sports activities. Point number 4, prohibition of employment of adolescents in certain hazardous occupation and process. No adolescents shall be employed or permitted to work in any of the hazardous occupation or processes set forth in the schedule. Example, stone quarries, brick kilns, work related to manufacturing, handling, grinding, cutting, welding, molding, or any other process involving inflammable substance or so on. The 5th point is the penalties. Since from the very beginning I have made a clear division between a child and an adolescent, there is also a penalty which involves here. Number 1, whoever employs any child or permits any child to work shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term not less than 6 months, but which may extend up to 2 years, or with fine not less than 20,000 rupees, but which may extend to 50,000 rupees, or with both. The second condition is whoever employs any adolescents or permits any adolescents to work shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term not less than 6 months, but which may extend to 2 years, or with a fine of not less than 20,000 rupees, but which may extend up to 50,000 rupees, or both. And there are certain cases, whoever fails to comply with any other provisions of the Act or the rules made thereunder shall be punishable with simple imprisonment, which may extend to 1 month, or with a fine, which may extend to 10,000 rupees, or with both. And the next point, that is point number 6, how to report a child labor. We all know the child line number, that is 1098, which is open 24 hours. Second is you can report to the labor department, or you can go to the local police station, or district task force committee, or NGO working on child rights. Since we are all clear about the Child and the Adolescent Act, I would like to state this. Our fundamental rights to education has remained neatly arranged in books and shelves, and we have scored very good marks in writing an essay on child labor. We have studied and accepted the problem, and it's high time that we put into practice and spread awareness. Not just about underage child labor or adolescents aged between 14 to 18 years working in hazardous conditions, but let us also set a reminder that there is a penalty for the defaulters. And thankfully, efforts are being made. Organizations, government, and concerned citizens are working to eliminate child labor. But the fight is far from over. We do have a role to play. If we see a child being forced to work, we must speak up. We must support education, create awareness, and help build a society where no child has to choose work over school. Let us raise our voices together and say no to child labor and yes to childhood. Lastly, to wind up, I would like to quote Oprah Winfrey, where she states, "Every time a child is saved from the dark side of life, every time one of us makes an effort to make a difference in child's life, we add light and healing to our own lives." Thank you.
My name is Otoli Kits, and I'm truly honored to be here with you all and to take part in this program today. As you've all seen, I'm an advocate by profession, and I dedicated my effort to protecting and promoting the rights, especially those who are vulnerable to exploitation and abuse. So today on World Day Against Child Labor, I'm here not just to speak, but to learn and share with you all. This day is a global reminder that no child should be deprived of the childhood, education, or safety for the sake of work. Every child deserves a life of dignity, free from exploitation. In all sincerity, me and my associates, advocate Otoli Kits, we just drove all the way from Guahati this morning at 4 a.m. So I'm feeling kind of little deprived of sleep, and with the big cameras in front of me. To be up front, it's the first time behind big cameras, so in front of the big cameras, so I'm feeling kind of little nervous and jittery, but please bear with me. So I look forward to having an open and meaningful conversation with you all. Together we can voice for those who are unheard and the changes that the world needs. So when I saw the program, when your ma'am Lovi forwarded me the program, I was so excited to see the distinguished speakers featured in your program today, who works in the related fields, and I was keen to learn and get more insight on this child labor. So in certainty, like I claim no expert, but to get more insight, I'm happy to get this platform. Okay, so the World Day Against Child Labor is an international labor organization sanctioned holiday first launched in 2022, aiming to raise awareness and activism to prevent child labor. India has the absolute number of child labor under 14 years of age. So, awareness of child rights. Today we will talk on a serious topic, which is awareness of child rights, because many of us, we don't know what is child rights. As we know, children are the future of society and nation, society or nation. We are obliged to protect the children so that they can be an asset for the future. Now, when we talk about child rights, we need to focus on many ways a child is deprived of the rights. We in society never care and notice how they are being misused. Next slide. So, when we talk about child rights, there are many aspects of it, such as child being abused, which we will discuss elaborately. Please go to the next slides. So these are the legal frameworks for children's rights in India. These are the constitutional provision. Constitution of India provides Article 14, right to life, right to equality. Regardless of our background, our status, we are treated equally under the law. Everyone is equal under the law. This is Article 14. And Article 15, Clause 3, special provision for children. It empowers the state to make provisions to ensure well-being and advancement of children without being accused of discrimination. Article 21A, right to free and compulsory education, 6 to 14 years. the state is obligated to provide education without cost to children between 6 to 14 years, and attendance at school is mandatory. We all know this article. Also, Article 24, protection from child labor in hazardous job. Our ma'am speaker has already talked on this. No child below 14 years be employed in factories, mine, or any other hazardous employment. We have another Article 39, Clause E and F. It provides protection of workers, child development, preventing forced labors, protection from exploitations. So these are the constitutional provisions that provides legal frameworks for the child rights. Next slide, please. So, these are the key laws that protects the child. The Juvenile Justice Care and Protection Act. So this juvenile justice protects children in conflict with law and those in need of care. Okay. Those in need of care. A person under 18-year-old is alleged, if a person under 18 years, under 18-year-old is alleged or found to have committed offense, this juvenile justice give care and protections to those under 18 years. We have right to children of free and compulsory education. Act 2009 RTE Act. This ensures free and compulsory education for children aged between 6 to 14, which we have already discussed. We have the POXCO Act, Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act. This act provides a legal framework to address sexual abuse and exploitation. This law also aims at protecting children from sexual assault, sexual harassment, and pornography. This act also established special courts for the trial of this offense and provides child-friendly procedure to ensure free and supportive legal procedure for child victims. We have the Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986, amended Act 2016. Bans employment of children below 14 years in all occupations. Lastly, we have the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006. So this act is aimed to prevent child marriage. It defines child marriage as any marriage where either a woman is 18 years, is under 18 years, or the man is under 21 years. This act provides prohibition of solemnization of such marriage, protection and relief to victims, and enhanced punishment for those who abet, promote this solemnization of marriage. It can also attract rigorous imprisonment for up to 2 years and fine. Next slides. So why awareness matter is, we can empower, we can give protection, they can give access to service, and it breaks the cycle. So when we empower children and adults, they know their rights. They can demand better treatments and protection. Like when we give protection, awareness helps to prevent abuse, exploitation, traffic, and child labor. When they have access to service, informed communities are more likely to access health, education, and legal support system. Also, breaking the cycle, educated and aware children are less likely to fall victim to generational poverty and discrimination. Next slide, please. So, effort to raise awareness. These are the states came up with these schemes. National Commission for Protection of Child Rights, Integrated Child Protection Scheme, Midday Meal Scheme, Beti Bachao, Beti Parhao. These are the schemes by the state to promote and monitor the rights of children. Next slide, please. So, how we can, the NGOs and civil society, organizations like the children, the CRY, like Child Rights and Youth, UNICEF India work actively to educate and protect children. In schools, like including Children's Right in Schools LLB and public awareness campaign through media rallies and social platform. These are where we can create awareness and prevent child abuse. Next, please. So how can we help the children? So these are the ways we can help the children. So we can teach the key rights. Firstly, we can teach the key rights to the children, like right to safety and protection. Like we can teach the kids like no one should hurt you. Right to education. We can tell the kids you deserve to go to school. Right to be heard. We can tell the kids your thoughts and feelings matter. Right to health care. Like when a child is sick, we have to tell the child that he has the right to see a doctor when sick, he or she. And right to family and care. That someone should care for the kids. Also, we can encourage open conversation to the kids, to the children, like let the children come up with questions, ask questions. Listen, we can listen actively and make them feel safe talking about anything. We can tell the child to do what to do if the rights are violated. Like teach them how to speak to a trusted adult. Let them know it's okay to say I don't feel safe and this is wrong. These are the challenges faced by children in India. Child labor and exploitation, malnutrition and poor health outcomes, lack of access to quality education, abuse and neglect. So challenges faces in India are hazardous work involving dangerous condition, that is mining, construction work, domestic work, like often it's hidden, like working in a household, we keep it hidden. Like in recent years we have seen in Nagaland social media circulating, abusing children in many platforms, in the YouTube and many social media platforms. So children should grow up with a sense of responsibility. Like learning basic skill and ethics at home is important for children. That doesn't justify treating them poorly. So also like in the rural areas, it's agricultural work is very common. Often it involves physical demanding. Cause of child labors are poverty in families, lack of access to quality education, family tradition and cultural norms, weak enforcement of laws, economic necessities for survival. Next slide, please. So why people hire children? Anyone have any idea why people hire children? It's very hot, so can we be a little interactive? Does anyone have any idea? Why people hire children? Because they are cheap laborers and less pay. Like business of its own benefits, hire children as they hire child labor for less pay, comparatively or compared to the adults. So in many cases, the children are exposed to many dangerous places like firecrackers factories, building constructions, which is very dangerous. They have to work long hours, which is an abuse of child. We know that it has been prohibited by law to employ children. Lastly, we have, as we can all read out from the screening, so we as a society must be aware and protect the child from being victimized. And lastly, I want to take this opportunity to thank all the stakeholders of today's program for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Nagaland TV, Sob Manulaga Awas. Watch us live on Geo TV and on your television sets as well. For Dimapur viewers, we are on channel number 994 in Global Chapter, and Kohima and Mokokchung viewers, switch to channel number 138 on Hornbill Digital. For all news and updates, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and Twitter.